Hello, my name's Ashley Karyl. I'm a photographer, a writer. I wrote the book Color Management Pro. I'm involved with color management and I'm an X-Rite Coloratti Pro. Today we're going to talk a little bit about some X-Rite products. In particular, we've got here the three calibrators for your display. You've got the Color Monkey display, which is the entry-level model. Then you've got the EyeOne Display Pro, which is a more professional version. Again, both of those do your display. Then you've got the Color Monkey Photo, which will do your display, but it will also do profiles for printers. Okay, so let's start with the Color Monkey display. This is an entry-level calibrator aimed mainly at hobby and amateur photographers, but the quality is excellent. Anybody could use this. You have three parts to this. You start with the diffuser, you pull that back, and then you have the lens part. This is the part you would attach to the display, which is then reads all the colours as they flash through during the calibration process. Finally, you have that bottom bit there, which is just a tripod bush, which you could use to attach when you're doing basically projector calibration instead. And that's really a very simple unit to use for anybody. You simply attach that to the display in that way, so the lens is facing towards the screen and the counterweight would go over the top like that. And that's basically how it works. Next we have the EyeOne Display Pro. This is the big brother of the Color Monkey display that we looked at before. It has the same color engine. It produces, you can use it for calibrating your display or calibrating your projector, just like the Color Monkey display. The chief difference is that it basically has some more bells and whistles. It uses a different software called EyeOne Profiler, which is far more advanced, incredibly configurable. It has key advantages if you're using video, for example. Again, in the same way, you would attach that to the display. That would go over the top like that with the counterweight. A key advantage of the EyeOne Display Pro is that it can be used with third-party software, such as the Next SpectraView's own software. And finally, we have the Color Monkey Photo, which is a little bit different from the other two in that, yes, it can still be used to calibrate your display, and it does an excellent job. However, it can also be used to create custom printer profiles. And it does a really great job for that at a really remarkably good price. So just like the other two, you would use the counterweight, you could hang that over the display if you're going to use it to do a display calibration. The process for creating printer profiles is a little bit different, and we'll go through that. Along with the three calibrators, we also have a very clever little device here called the Color Checker Passport Photo. This is really like a sort of Swiss Army knife, in that you can do lots of clever little tricks with this. You've got, first of all, you can create a custom white balance with this by using this slightly grey target here, so that your pictures come onto the computer already with the correct colour balance. No more messing about having to set it manually afterwards. Everything comes in looking the correct, perfect white balance. Secondly, you have the classic target, which you use to create a camera profile. That's specifically for your camera, and it will ensure that all your colours maintain the correct relationships between each other. This does a much better job than the profiles, the standard profiles, which would normally be applied when you're using something like Lightroom or Photoshop. And then finally, you have the creative target. This is something you use for more nuanced effects in a post-production phase. You've got the hue and saturation at the top. Then you've got options to creatively affect skin tones to make them a little bit warmer and more attractive, to influence landscapes, and you can also check for clipping and highlights when you're there with your white balance selector. Okay, so who are these calibrators aimed at then? Well, first, the Color Monkey display really is aimed at sort of enthusiast, keen amateurs, that sort of thing. It would also be good for basically anybody in an office, a graphic design studio, anything like that, who simply needs an accurate, well-profiled display. Moving along, you've got the EyeOne Display Pro. This really is aimed at more serious photographers photographers who might be using wide gamut monitors, and they really want to get the most out of them by using the software that comes with the display itself, or indeed using EyeOne Display Pro's own software, EyeOne Profiler, which is very professional, very capable. Then if you were looking to do prints as well and create custom printer profiles, you could go for the Color Monkey Photo. And for more information, make sure that you check out the other videos.